Good morning, good morning, good morning. Do me a favor, invite somebody, share. We are on all of our platforms this morning. We got approval from YouTube to be on all of our platforms at least once, twice a month. So we're exercising that right this morning. Here's what I need you to do. Do me a favor, invite somebody, share. Tell them coffee time is on. We've got a lot to talk about. Will you do that for me? Will you do that favor for me? Invite somebody, share. We'll be back after this.
Uh, coffee time, coffee time. Yeah, this ain't your average cup of joe. Listen, I need it in the morning, I need it at night. He always keeps it brewing, he always keeps it tight. Just a little sip, it'll get you right. Terrence Pickett always be the one that gets the coffee right. The coffee's right, the coffee's right in my life. It's never a wrong time or a crime to get what's yours and to get what's mine. Come on. Coffee time in my life. Coffee time. Feels so right. I need a little sugar, put it in my cup. Can you stir it, Terrence? Let me know what's up. And at the end of the show, you can brew another pot. Just make sure you make it hot. Come on. Time in my life. Coffee time. Feels so right. I need a little sugar, put it in my cup. Can you stir it, Terrence? Let me know what's up. And at the end of the show, you can brew another pot. Just make sure you make it hot. Come on.
Good morning, everybody. You know we are on YouTube. We moved Coffee Time to YouTube, but we do have permission from YouTube to air on all of our platforms at least once, twice a month. And that's what we are doing today. So don't forget, tomorrow you'll be able to watch Coffee Time on YouTube. Anytime you want to see it, you can go to YouTube. All right. Thank you for joining us this morning. Do me a favor. Invite somebody, share, invite somebody, share, invite somebody, share, invite somebody, share. I want to first start off by thanking our sponsors. Fearless Girls is one of our premier sponsors. There's a trip that's being held on July the 23rd through the 27th. I'm telling you, listen to me, ladies. Community is what we need. We were not created to be by ourselves. As much as we promote, I got this, I don't need whatever, we were created to be together. We were created to need one another. One of the greatest torments known to man is to stick him in a hole by himself. That's what they did in war times. They put you in a hole by yourself. The reason they put you in a hole was to torment you. The greatest torment to man is being alone. So you need a community. You need somebody. You need somebody. Iron sharpens iron. Nobody is great by themselves. Everybody is great because of community. And that's what Fearless Girls is. It's a movement. It's a movement. You need to join. There's a trip that is coming up July 23rd through the 27th. You can go to Fearless Girls Facebook page, get more information on that. And I want to thank them for being one of the proud sponsors of Coffee Time. So this morning, we're talking about self-reflections, fuel to keep going. Self-reflections, fuel to keep going. Of Coffee Time. So sorry, y'all. I think our world moves so fast. I think life moves so fast. Life happens so fast that by the time we get an idea of what life is truly all about, it's almost time to die. Isn't it funny, parents, how we unfairly deal with our kids, how we unfairly judge our kids, punish our kids for the very same things that we've done? Isn't it also funny how it's taken us this long to get the wisdom, the knowledge that we have, and we are still learning, but we will turn around and judge other people unfairly or even punish those we have some level of control over for doing the very same things we are guilty of. I want to take this time to talk this morning about self-reflections. Self-reflections. I think self-reflections are important because it's in thinking that we are able to decide. It's in thinking that we're able to use precision. It's in thinking that we're able to comb out details. And life will push you so fast, so much, that you stop thinking. You won't even take a break just to loan your mind to where you are in your life, what's happening around you, who's with you, who's against you. You need time to think and make self-reflections so you can see what part of you is winning, what part of you is losing, and what part of you is afraid, and what part of you just have no clue. This is very, 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 very important. So Chanel Well Bracey, good morning. Tina White McPherson, good morning. Joanne, God's chosen vessel, good morning. Shakaya Top Notch Whitaker, good morning. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's where Coffee Time is. For those of you that have not seen it on Facebook, we're no longer doing Coffee Time on Facebook. This morning is the exception. We do Coffee Time on YouTube only. This morning is the exception. Once or twice a month, YouTube have allowed us to share our content on other platforms. So self-reflections is important. If you feel as if you're losing in a particular area, maybe you've reached the ceiling in that area, it's time for you to stop and do some reflections. My Mondays are filled with self-reflections. That's what I do on Mondays. Now I take time out of every day that God blessed me with in some way to consider my day, align my day, review my day, make sure that in my review of my day, I go over what I've accomplished, what I wish I had accomplished. And this helps me so I'm not moving in the dark. I don't like darkness. I don't like moving and not knowing. I need to have my hands on the things that I'm to control. And so many times we leave our day to chance because we're ill prepared. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. That's not necessarily true. A prepared day will always end with a wise day. The wisdom for the day comes through preparations. Now, it does not mean that there are things aren't or are going to go the way that you plan, but at least when you're prepared for the day, you can control what you can. Now, whatever happens in my day that I have absolute no control over, I'm not held responsible for. I can only be responsible for what I can control. This keeps me in a place where I'm maximizing my time. Time management is so important, especially when you have a lot on your plate. You can't be everything to everybody. You can't be everywhere at the same time. I know when I wake up in the morning, it pains me to say it, but here's the truth. If I win in business, I'm losing with my family. If I win in family time, I'm losing with my business. Business says. because whatever time I allot in the day is the thing that has my focus, and the other things must suffer until I can get back. This is why it's so important. It's not in the quantity of time that you spend with the people you love. It's in the quality of time. This is why it's important to spend quality time with people you love. It's important for you to be in the moment. So many times we're with the people we love, but our mind is somewhere else. We're not in the moment. I try my very best, whether it's a meeting, whether it's spending time with my family, whether it's spending time with my friends. I try my very best to be in the moment, where I am attentive to what they are saying. I'm attentive to my response, and I've not turned into some robot that just spits stuff out because that's what I'm accustomed to doing. I think technology has handicapped us from speaking from heart. We're almost in record mode. When someone goes through, we know what to say. Condolences, prayers, and there's no heart, no true heart connected to it, because we are accustomed to giving responses instead of living in the moment, feeling with our heart where they are and responding according to our heart. So you have two ways that you respond. You respond based on what you know, and you respond based on what you feel. True maturity is being able to do both with balance. There should be some level of compassion in your responses towards each other. It shouldn't be robotic. It shouldn't be technological. You should have some heart behind what you're communicating. That says that you're in the moment, and whatever is being communicated is not only heard, it's not only thought, but it's also felt. So you got to learn how to live in the moment. Rosalind Jones, good morning. Nikki Mitchell, good morning. Vonda Oliver, good morning. Good morning to everybody that is on. Do me a favor, invite somebody, share. We are on all platforms this morning. YouTube has given us the ability and the favor to do this at least once, twice a month, where we'll be on all platforms. But our home for coffee time is YouTube. That's where we are every day, Monday through Friday, starting 7:30 in the morning. So you got to live in the moment. Living in the moment is going to require you to be attentive in the moment. You've got to learn how to compartmentalize your thoughts, your ideas. You've got to learn how to use paper, pen. However you make record of your day, you've got to make that record and organize it so you can maximize your time, and it will also minimize the stress that is in your life. I'm coming up on a birthday come next month, and birthdays are very sober and sobering, sobering for me, because it's another year. God's blessing me around the sun. It's another year that he's added or allowed me to complete in God giving me grace, protection, and favor to complete another year. What have I accomplished this year that I didn't do last year? I really believe that, like, you know how we do New Year's resolutions? I believe that we also ought to have birthday resolutions. Hey, by the time I'm this age, I should have accomplished this. I think we ought to have yearly, monthly, weekly goals to help make those resolutions. But it doesn't come until we pause and have self-reflection. One of the things that motivates me for the morning is knowing what I've accomplished in the previous day. The things that I did not accomplish, I'm motivated. I'm going to get that done today. The things that I did accomplish, I'm excited, and that excitement gives me fuel to want to win another day. John Quill Hutnell, good morning. So you got to learn how to use the days as instruments for success for tomorrow. Teresa Bryant, hey there. Good morning. If you're on Facebook, remember we do YouTube only. We got to pass the day to be on all platforms. We do that once, twice a month. But coffee time is for YouTube. So the information that you get from yesterday, before you go to bed, you ought to unpack your day. Self-reflection. What have I accomplished? You know, was I unfair today? You know, we have days when we're unfair. We have days when we're not with it. You know, we have days when we're not feeling our best, and it's obvious in our attitude. We have days when we don't get the proper rest. We've not drank enough water, and those days affect our attitude. So in those days, what are we, or what have we done to learn? Today's Wednesday. What has Tuesday taught you? And I'm telling you, when you align your Monday, your Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and the lessons that you've learned in those days, it gives you a journal for the week, and that journal becomes your goal. One of the things that I used to have to work on is when I didn't get enough rest, I had to work on my attitude. I didn't want to talk when I didn't rest good. I didn't want to talk when I didn't have coffee. Teresa Bryant, thanks for coming on through YouTube. You know what it is. Teresa Bryant is my girl. I didn't want to come on. I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to, whatever that they handed me, I didn't want to. And it was primarily because I wasn't getting enough rest. I'm going to give you something else. This is good wisdom for you. You need to invest in the proper mattress and the proper pillow, because a lot of the sleep that you're getting sleep, but you're not getting rest. Your body is not relaxed. So you're fighting even while you're sleeping because your mattress is too hard or too soft. You need to find out what's good for you and invest in the proper sleeping tools. A good pillow and a good mattress will help you feel better for your day. And when you feel better in the day, you will accomplish more in that day. I've got some people that I'm not speaking to right now. I'm not talking to them. I don't have anything in my heart against them. They just violated some areas of my life that I'm not in a place to handle. So I've had to withdraw my presence from those people, right? My love hasn't changed. This is self-reflection. My love for them hadn't changed. I've just had to withdraw my presence. Look, so I can rebuild me and become stronger in the areas where they've opened up and caused me to see where I'm weak. You get around certain people, you agitate, you're frustrated, they say certain things that set you off. I know it's common for us to blame them for what they're doing to us. I know that's common, but here's the reality. No one should have the key to make you feel anything. You ought to always be in control of you. This is a tough saying. You ought to always be in control of you. Nobody should have the ability to set you off. They shouldn't. So anytime someone can set you off, in that moment that they're able to do that, they are in control of you. And how can you govern yourself? How can you be promoted and you don't have complete control of you. That's good stuff, man. I'm telling you. I deliberately started my day late because I have a late day, but I deliberately slept in to get rest because I wanted to address this with you with a fresh mind. We give people control over us. We give them a license to pull certain triggers in our life. And then we blame them for pulling that trigger, making us mad. But here's the reality. We gave them that control because that is an area of weakness for us. And if we're going to correct that area and build the strength that we need, we may have to remove ourselves temporarily until we can build strength before we go back into those areas. Here's why that's important. Your witness is all you have. And we've blown our witness so many times. I don't know how we're going to win anybody, and we keep blowing our witness. Everybody should not have access to you. And there are parts of you that should be reserved only for those that God called you to walk with. When people see all of you and they don't have the grace because they was called to a part of you, you can ruin those people. There's a scripture in the Bible, Mark chapter 4. It's the last verse. As a matter of fact, let me read it for you. I always quote it. Sometimes I just feel it'd be good if I read it. Let me get it first. If I can find it. It's Mark chapter 4. Read the entire chapter. Let me go ahead and quote it for the sake of time. It says, when Jesus was with the multitudes, he spoke in parables, meaning he spoke where they could understand him. He spoke their language. He didn't base his speech on his education intellect. He was able to judge the crowd to understand what they could receive, and he met them accordingly. And he used parables as a method of teaching so they could understand the principle. So the Bible says when he was with the multitudes, he spoke in parables. Then it says, but when he had the disciples alone, he held nothing back. Everybody can't handle all of you. So stop giving all of you to everybody. You have people that God has called to walk with you in private places of your life. They're there to be support. They're there to help you with your weaknesses. They're there to help manage your madness, so to speak. They're there to remind you of the wisdom of God, the knowledge of God. They're there to remind you who you are. Everybody can't have that seat because everybody doesn't have that grace. And so many times we bring people into intimate quarters for ourselves. They don't have the grace to handle the mess that we're working through. And we ruin them from their assignment. You know, you don't go to a restaurant. My favorite restaurant was Ruth Chris. I think Mortons showed out last time I went there. Shout out to the manager, Dave. Dave is a personal friend of mine. Every time I've gone once, since he's been the manager. He's thrown out the red carpet, really made me feel special. So shout out to Dave and the staff at Mortons. When you get a chance, go to Mortons, ask for Dave, tell him Terrence sent you. But I went to Mortons, me and one of my brothers, and we ate there, and everything came out. Presentation was nice. The service was great. And that's generally how it is in a restaurant. Everything that comes out nice and neat. Everything comes out with superb approval. They have the food sitting right on the plate. There's nothing dripping on the side. Presentation is everything. But if you ever worked in a restaurant, that's not what happens in the kitchen. The kitchen is a mess. Let me tell you something. This is not being hypocritical. There are some messes in your life where God is still doing reconstructive surgery on you. He's still building you. That the world is not supposed to see that. That's kitchen stuff. But you've given the wrong people access to see the kitchen. They don't have a grace for the kitchen. They don't know how all things work together for the good. They can only see you in one light. And you've exposed them to the mess of the kitchen. And they're supposed to have a seat at the table for the presentation. You've got to learn how to discern who's who in your life. You've got to learn how to place people where they belong. You've got to learn how not to give so much access. That's why you stay hurting. Someone's always hurting you, always taking advantage of you. It's because they have too much access to you. You're too open. You may see what happens in my yard, but I can promise you won't know what goes on in my bedroom because the doors are closed. And you've got to learn how to be what God's called you to be to people. And when you leave that person, you leave that particular assignment, and you leave the assignment with that person, and you need to get away to let your hair down. Let me tell you why a lot of people in the Church of Jesus Christ, especially in America, let me tell you why a lot of people are digressing, what we call backsliding. I don't have time to get into that, but they're digressing in what seems to be their walk with God. That they're digressing. They're not as open for church, open to hang around church people. It's not just because they're tired of religion. No, they've absorbed the rules and regulations and omitted the relationship, and their soul is tired of people in the organization church. Their soul has been absorbed. There is no such thing. And I know we use this term a lot, but let me help you out. There is no such thing as church hurt. It's no such thing. Say, Picker, how is that? No. It's not the church that hurt you. The church is ecclesia, the called out one. These are the blood washed. These are the people that are working and maintaining through the scriptures to become more and more conformed to the knowledge of Christ. And they understand that in order to conform, there has to be reform. So the church is the called out one. They're not the ones that hurt you. It's the people whose minds have not been processed through the word. It's the people that go to church that hurt you. The church don't hurt nobody. You got to give yourself time to breathe and create balance. You cannot be all God. You pray 24/7. If you pray 24/7 and you on your knees 24/7, when you got time to eat and use the bathroom You got to create balance for your life. Vacations are necessary for your mental health. See, the problem with the church is that parts of the church, parts of the body, is that we go to the extreme. We're in church 24/7. COVID has broken some of that up. And we don't make time to vacation. You know, some of you all need to sit on somebody's beach and do nothing. You're so absorbed with your gift, your passion, your purpose. You're out of balance. You think it's the passion that is pushing you. No, that's not what it is. It's your dysfunction. Here's how I know. Here's how I know. Dysfunction will cause you to do more with what should have less. It will cause you to be in places doing things instead of duplicating yourself. So now you become a micromanager of your own life. You have to do everything. You don't believe that God has sent you help and assistance. You've got to learn how to delegate and release things to other people and trust the gift that they have and the God that they serve, that his plan is going to be carried out. It may not be carried out your way, sweetheart. Sir, it may not. You may have to do constant teaching and tweaking. But if you don't learn how to delegate, your passion is going to kill you. We've buried a lot of pastors. I've sung at a lot of funerals of a lot of great men of God that died before their time because they felt that their job was to do the work of the ministry. They aborted their families. They aborted everyday life. They stopped going on vacation because they're called of God. And they died early. Because there is a part of us that wants to consume and control everything that we're in. You got to learn, turn it off. I turn my phone off. I respond when I can. Generally, when I'm working, my phone is not even on me. It's in my office because I don't need to be distracted and miss moments. I need to live in the moment that I'm in. I cannot allow people access and control by having to respond to every message, having to return every call. You're going to drive yourself crazy. You better pace yourself. Drink plenty of water. Get that sea moss. Go to Taste of Miami. Tell them I sent you. They'll give you a discount. Get your body what it needs so you have the strength to endure and rest properly and then learn how to get away. I'm called of God to do a number of things. One of the greatest lessons I've learned in life is how to walk away from them all to get rest. And if God doesn't send me help to fulfill his goal in the earth, then it's going to go unaccomplished. I promise you, I'm not going to kill myself trying to do the will of God. If we're sensitive enough, we will know where to go based on the help that God has provided. If there's no help there and you don't have the grace to facilitate it, and a lot of times that grace can be seen, how much time do you have? See, where the grace is there, you can do more with less. But when the grace is not there, you're overworking, you're tense, you're stressed, you need to relax. Now, I'm going to get on something now in my closing. I'm talking to married people and I'm talking to single people too. You should have a desire for sex. Having a desire for sex, you say, oh, where'd that come from? Oh, yeah, we're finna talk about your pearls, your little Jolly Ranchers for a second. There's a point I'm trying to make. You don't have a desire for sex. That is unnatural. I'll give you something else. That's unnatural. There's something that has happened to you that have killed natural desire. God put that desire in you. You don't have the desire to be with a mate. Something's wrong. God made you for somebody. You're supposed to desire companionship. You're supposed to desire sex. Your pearls are supposed to be moist. You ain't been moist in a minute. Something wrong. Your fellas, your Jolly Rancher is supposed to stay up. You're supposed to get up sometime. Your Jolly Rancher ain't standing in the tent. Something's wrong. And there's a reason I'm saying this. Y'all done demonized too many things that God put in us. Desiring sex is not wrong. You're supposed to desire it. But there's a time for it too. That's all you got to work on, the timing. I know I got it right. The Bible talks about unnatural affections. That's a part of that is desiring. This is self-reflection now. Desiring something that ain't even natural. Some of y'all desire them little rabbits and them toys, so you don't have to deal with a person. That's not natural. Somebody put on my wall. I made an announcement as a prophet of God that Father's Day is not for studs. You are a ma'am, sir. It ain't for you. And the girl Kamala, yeah, I'll call you out. You put it on my wall. I'm going to testify to it. She said, Happy Providers Day to them all. No, ma'am. It's Father's Day. And what happens is things are bleeding over and we can't honor who we need to honor. We're trying to mingle everything together without understanding God has made some things separate. God called men to be men, women to be women. Now, if men desire to be with men, it's their choice. If a woman desires to be with a woman, it's their choice. It's still unnatural. God's way of multiplying the earth is for the woman to bring out what's in the man. She's the incubator. Her job is to give life. She pulls life out of the man so she can produce that life. That's natural. We see it in the animal kingdom. Insects. Two of the same genders can't reproduce. What does that say? And I don't knock anybody. Your choice is your choice. I love you regardless. But the Bible is right, in my opinion. And if I live by the Bible and I follow that book and I'm able to call out my wrong, I have to call out all wrong. I call out my wrong all the time. It's unnatural. And I'm telling you, the door of the enemy is open for us to join in with unnatural things is because we've been hurt. We've not taken the time to think about it, look at it. And as a result of that, we begin to violate what's natural and embrace what's unnatural. Now we're calling right wrong and wrong right. A man is supposed to have an erection. Women, you're supposed to get a little greasy. Pick it! Pick it! Gotta help the folk, Doc. It's natural. Them nips supposed to give a thumbs up every now and then. It's natural. It is natural for you to desire sex. If you don't, that something's wrong. It could be medically or mentally, psychologically. Stop rebuking your flesh. No, you just need discipline in your mind. You're supposed to desire it. God created it, and he put the desire in you. Yeah. I know you're clutching your pearls right now because you can't believe Terrence Pickett. Well, you should know by now. Y'all around here with these plastic toys. And men, you around here choking your chicken. And you doing the wrong thing the wrong way. And now you don't have a desire for each other. Something wrong with that. Get yourself together. Now, I want to say thank you for your support. Hey, be sure to sow financially into Coffee Time for the work that we're doing here on the earth. It continues to expand what we do. My desire is to see it all over the world. We're almost there. I need your help. The 3 ways that you help us is by sharing the content, communicating with others, tell them to watch the content, YouTube, tell them to follow me. And the 3rd way is by your financial gifts. You're God's hands in the earth. I can't do it alone. The vision is bigger than me. If I could accomplish it, God wouldn't have sent you. So we're in this together. I'm so glad we're doing life together. Without your ears, I don't have a voice. You make this possible. We are a match made in heaven, and I'm glad we're together. Remember, you were born to win, predestined to succeed. There's nothing that can happen to you today. You can sow right there on the Cash App. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Y'all help a brother out, okay? Don't make me beg. I ain't too proud to beg. I believe we're in this together. Everybody's got to do their part. All right? So thank you for your support, your financial support, your moral support, your spiritual support, your prayers. All those things are necessary. You can give to the Cash App. It's right there on the screen. Right there. Pow, right there. Anyway, you were born to win, predestined to succeed. There's nothing that can happen to you today that the wisdom on the inside of you is not able to handle. You've got to calm down, slow down, and let wisdom speak. When wisdom speak, you will always win. You all go have a productive day. Shout out to our sponsor, Fearless Girls. Make sure you go to their page. Make sure you be a part of the trip that is coming up. We talked about it at the beginning of the show. Here's the flyer just to remind you. Fearless Girls Getaway North, July the 23rd through the 27th. You can see that on their page. Get information. If you want more information, contact Dr. Teresa White. She's Teresa White on Facebook. Hit them in the inbox. You need that community. I promise you to bless your life. All right, y'all have a great day, and always remember to think higher, speak life. Love y'all. Appreciate your support.
Coffee time, coffee time. Yeah, this ain't your average cup of joe. Listen, I need it in the morning, I need it at night. He always keeps it brewing, he always keeps it tight. Just a little sip, it'll get you right. Terrence Pickett always be the one that gets the coffee right. The coffee's right, the coffee's right in my life. It's never a wrong time over crime to get what's yours and to get what's mine. Come on. Coffee time in my life. Coffee time feels so right. I need a little sugar, put it in my cup. Can you stir it, Terrence? Let me know what's up. And at the end of the show, you can brew another pot. Just make sure you make it hot. Come on.